Good.
Are we all
This look-
here?
No,
Yep.
Chris is not. Everybody except Chris.
Okay.
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. I love this size class, actually. It's a nice group. A lot of individual. I don't have to worry about muting anybody. That's nice. All right. I think we started there last night. I don't remember. So we'll start with Will. Here's Will's from what said he did a blue, yellow, purple wash underpainting. Is that under this one, Will?
Yes.
Open it up.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
very nice. I'm curious. So, okay, so the purple is under here, that underwash?
It's under, I did on all the darks, I did a purple underwash, so medium and dark. So you can see it peeking out a little bit there.
Is this a part of the underwash, this peeking out?
Yes, it
here
is.
in
Yeah.
that area? Yeah.
Yep.
Because there's not, surface-wise, there's not a lot of purple on it, but I like how it is just peeking through in these areas and tinting the overall painting. I need to move this a bit. I'm not going to spend a lot of time this afternoon on these, but I did want to look at them. And tonight we'll try to get through what we're going to do this afternoon.
So Will, what were your colors again? Your base colors?
I was a blue yellow,
Okay.
and then spread out from there. And I like the dark blue, which I can use as shadow. I don't need black. I don't need dark gray. But blue is a good shadow color.
It is, even though the tone, it's not a deep shade, it still reads as shadow very much. So your deepest here, if we're going value-wise, is really not that looks about there, about a 7 or an 8.
Yeah.
And it reads nicely. It infuses the painting with light. Very nice. Okay, so that's Will. Chris put up this, I think this was his reference photo. When I looked at he was working on the easel, I thought it was buildings at first, but it's these beautiful Italian cypress trees. And here were his chosen colors. I don't know why this is not opening well. Don't you like how he kind of designed this?
Yeah.
I think it looks like he started here with these Terry Ludwigs and then, went to his tint and then down through his shades. I'm wondering if that's what the stepped situation is, but.
Well, he knows where to put it back.
Right. Yeah. Organizing, keeping things organized. Rick, now when I saw you painting on your easel, I did not read it as this, but it was when it's at an angle and stuff, it's kind of hard. So this is Rick's reference photo, which
that's Red Rock Canyon near my wife's her hometown in Oklahoma, where she grew up.
Beautiful.
It
in
makes
North Carolina, there's some of these red rocks too, similar to this. Yes.
As I say, it makes sense now looking at the picture because I remember the orange stopping partway through.
Yeah.
But and I could see, and it looked from just your reference in the background, it looked like it was a hill that went all the way across. So I was wondering why it stopped, and now that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now a trick photographically is that this cliff basically visually stops right here at this tree, which painting wise makes it a little awkward if you could push the ledge just beyond that, or just to differentiate that a little bit. It's like when you have a peak of a roof come exactly at the same thing and everything's intersecting in the same point.
Right.
Kind of along that line. So let's look at that. And he took out the tree. Now, see, remember I said I thought it was winterish, but it's not here at all.
Yeah.
Did you underpaint, Rick? Or
no? No, this is just on an off-white paper.
Mm-hmm.
On a
and
UART.
It looks like you have a couple, the ultramarine blue, a light yellow, and the orange were your
Yeah.
choices. You started
Yeah.
with the blue?
Yeah, the blue and the optical complement was a pale yellow,
Pale yellow.
Mhm.
and then I added in the orange.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, interestingly, because on the classic color wheel, the complement of blue is orange, but optically we see that it's the yellow. Is this partially done, or do you want this tree looking?
Oh, it's as done as it's ever going to be.
And this is on UArt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
good. So if you want to reuse the paper, you can. I do that, especially when I'm in workshops and things. I will often reuse my paper.
Yeah.
But I can see where you're going, in this little dead branch happening right there. That's
Yeah, in that painting, that tree's very stilted looking. It's, not very organic looking, but I've never done this much painting in less than an hour. So it was kind
good
of
for
just
you.
blocking stuff in. And I don't know that I've never done big cliffs before at all. And so I was looking at it thinking, how would I do this? How would I, there's a real horizontal feel to it, the different layers, but then there's some real vertical things going on too. And
You didn't put up any of your preliminary sketches. I was just curious, but
oh, no, they
you
look
did
like
some.
small versions of this.
It's great. And then the intensity of this weekend, after a point, we just start getting so tired. It's hard to be creative and really get things going. I know I'm getting tired.
Well, I think the interesting thing is, using such a limited palette, and, I kept spending a lot of time, it was natural to use the blue in the sky and the orange in the rocks, because that's what colors are there. And then, but then you get to the tree, which is so dark. So I just use the darkest blue. But then when I got down to the grass below, it's like, and then I realized it's more about the light and everything that's coming in. There would be some shadows from the cliff. There'd be there's that little road going through there and
Mhm.
things. So
And you started
it's
doing some layering here to neutralize almost that shadow area under the cliff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right at the end, I started trying to soften it up a little bit.
And
So
if you want to play around with it, you might try some of the deepest orange just glazed over this. It would neutralize it, but also darken it.
yeah, it would.
Such a learning process. I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
I'm very impressed that you folks are really trying these different ways of approaching things.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's really fun and it's really stressful at the same time.
I think Will said something about that. What? Linda, you too?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm agreeing. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's the whole idea of oblique strategies. It just kind of push you beyond your comfort zone and try some new
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
And not that you're going to follow that forever, but it will affect slightly your approach to other things as well. It's always good to mix it up. Like Einstein, when he got stuck on a problem or something, he'd go away and he'd play the violin for a while to kind of start working with that other creative aspect of his brain. This is a very nice spot. Where is this?
Oh, Old Woman Bay, at Lake Superior, near Wawa, Ontario.
Ah,
Oh,
wow,
I love that birch tree.
Mhm.
yeah,
very pretty. Very
that's a
Oh.
beautiful shot.
And here are Jennifer's color sketches. I like the playing around happening here. Very different, like this one to this one are very different. That
Because I have 3 colors in the
yeah,
third
that
one.
teal blue in there
Or
really
number 3, yeah.
popped it a bit. And then this is what she's been working on. Those colors, that muted green and that soft purple, again, just make it feel much more wintry to me because of the colors. And you can take, where's the photo again? This doesn't
It's
feel
very
that
moody.
wintry.
Sorry?
Oh, it's very moody. It's atmospheric, I
Mhm.
guess. I'm thinking you can feel the chill.
Mhm.
It's like a tonalist almost. It's
Mm.
and very light filled at the same time. Very nice. Any comments, Jennifer? More?
Well, I think it's too light filled for the time of day. It was evening. And so when you say light filled, I realized I haven't got it dark enough. But then I didn't want it as dark as the evening. I just wanted the photograph as a reference. And so now it's come out a hybrid of misty light and what was supposed to be evening.
It's
The
nice. And by
shadows are
doing
fairly
this,
long.
sorry.
Shadows are fairly long.
Yes,
Mhm.
that indicates the time of day. You could take a sketch. That's a nice thing. If you have a photo and then you just do a charcoal sketch from it, you could take that sketch and you can make it bright morning. You can make it into a nocturne where it's dark night. There's so many things you can do with just one photo or one sketch, better from the sketch. And that's why the sketch kind of simplifies the image so we can play with it more, try different aspects with it. Would be fun to do that. All right, now do this one morning, do this one at sunset, and here's a nocturne. Another little exercise possibility. Leah, did I jump something here? Let me go back.
No, I didn't put my reference image up. I didn't realize that I should do that.
Nope, don't have to. So here's your sketches. So these are,
That was just the two colors. Well, I
Yeah.
guess yeah, two colors on the first one and then
Yeah.
3 on the rest.
with your shade in there, the darker. Nice. Well, I like the texture in this especially, and the leaves. You've tied those scarlet leaves on the ground in with the treetop. It's nice. And multi-layers of the twist of the tree. Beautiful form.
I was trying to go as far away from natural colors as possible when I was picking which colors to use so that I didn't get stuck in something that I normally would do.
Is this
So,
pretty much out of your norm?
yeah, I pretty much do realistic colors for the most part. So, I mean, I guess the ground is brownish, so that's probably kind of natural, but
Did you start with the purple and then find the yellow as its complement?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then the split on the purple side with that.
Yes.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Cindy, here's her neutralization exercise. I like. It's nice to do that every now and then. Oh, okay. Yep, this is the ocean.
Thumbnails with 3 colors.
Again, I mean, seeing right here in your sketch, if you had stepped back, you might see that this shape and this shape are almost, they're just kind of flipped over each other, about the same size. And it's good often to have a little more variety there. I wanted to change some things. I love your little comment at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
is this?
Well,
Go ahead.
I did it on UART, can you tell? And I took it off the board. The first time I took a picture of it, the ocean had too much green in it. So I fixed it, but I'd already taken it off the board. Well, I somehow fixed it. And so it was all curled,
Yeah.
darn UART. So I took but I still wanted to fix, there were still things about it I didn't like. I go back into pastels and work them over and over. But anyway, go ahead.
That's your reference there.
Yes.
Nice. And look how different your color scheme is because you were kind of forced to do a different color scheme. You
I'm
are,
really trying to use non-representational colors to learn from this
Yeah.
workshop.
I like this pink and blue and the transitions happening up in this area, especially very nicely. And this, I see how you've changed that to pull the glow more out into this area. UArt, what I do with UArt, if you can see I'll show you, but that's when I get my dollar store foam core boards and I tape them on there and I can leave them on there while I continue working or photographing them or something. So
Okay.
I'll show you when I get up to the easel. Remind me if I don't.
Okay.
Reference for Linda. This is there's a lot going on in this, Linda.
Yes. Yeah.
I can see a Karen Margulis picture right here.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like Karen. Karen, like, yes, I love those flowers in the foreground.
It's actually a massive field of those yellow sort of daisy flowers, old farmland that it's been turned into a preserve. It's gorgeous. I paint there a lot. It's nice.
It's got a lot of resource there. Whoops, come on.
Yeah, there's my
Nice.
gray.
These are the colors you started with, and then you found these here.
Right. Well, then I kind of I freelanced a little when I was choosing my colors.
How so? I'm just curious. That's
Well, for the next painting, I didn't
okay.
use those. I did a
Wow.
I did a violet orange start, violet orange yellow, and then I added a green. And
So
so
is this the
that's
first one here?
that's the first.
Second?
And then this one, the one below is the third. The last one is the one on top is the last one because I got a little bored with the horizontal format. So I said, hey, what if I crop this? I cropped my photo and I zeroed in on just one section.
Yeah.
Just for to mix it up.
Nice. Possibilities. They all could create very different paintings if you use those as just starting spots. And this is your pet. Oh, come on. Did I miss something? This jumped on me. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
There it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that on the dark paper?
Yes, this is on black paper. I think it's UArt 400, I think.
Yeah. What a
That's a
difference that-
tapestry, you know?
Mhm.
This was fun.
Yeah, the black
just,
paper makes it very interesting.
yeah, I paint on black a lot. I like it. But I just pushed myself to keep moving on this and not stay in one spot for too long. So the whole, because I have a bad habit of working and working and working on just one spot without integrating the whole piece. So forcing myself to keep moving was hard, but that was one of my goals here.
I think this shows that integration, how it's all kind of touching each other or reaching out to each other area. I've seen artists who will do paintings like a puzzle piece, and they do one little section and then grow out from there. And partially my training and partially kind of my own feeling too is if you do that little section is in relationship, your mind is adjusting it to everything else that's around it. And if it's just a blank board, it's affecting what that little area is. And if you keep working it all over, then it's going to be more unified.
Right. And you tend to overwork spots too. You tend to not keep moving. Yeah.
That's right. Don't you kind of like seeing these together? It's just
I do.
fun.
When I was actually working on the painting though, I didn't really use much of the pinks. I stuck with the magenta and the darker violets, but the pink, when I put it down on with the rest of the colors, I wasn't kind of liking it too.
It wasn't
So,
working. Yeah. Nice.
yeah, little off key. I don't know what the word is.
It
The magenta
Yeah.
worked, but not those pinky ones on the upper right. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
It's, what was I going to say? You don't really have many tints here. You're almost all midtones, except
Yes.
for these are darker. So I think that's also why this has that overall feeling. It's almost all the same value. If we took this and made it into black and white, it would be interesting
Yes,
to see what it
right.
looks like.
Squinting my eyes, you're right.
I might do
Yeah.
that while we're working and see what it looks like. Ah, there it goes again. So
Oh,
this is,
this, I cropped it.
oh, it's the same painting that you cropped. Okay.
Same painting. I cropped it, and I really do like this a lot.
I wish I
Nice.
could put them up side by side. Let's keep this in our mind for a moment. So it's just this. Yeah. But interesting, they look like very different paintings. I
Yeah,
think because this large area of orange is missing, which balances out this.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the pink.
Yep. Yeah. There was the pink in the sky.
I think it sets it back some.
Yeah, it does. It does. It works here. Just a hint of pink.
Yeah,
Mm.
nice. All right, I think that's it for now.
Mm.
Whew. So you guys are getting things up pretty easily. You're getting adept at Padlet. That's wonderful. Keep stretching and moving. Everybody have a nice little break, I hope.
Mhm.
I turned on some music, so that was nice. This is review at the end. That's for at the end. So have you got, some people have things set up already. I can see some sketches. You're planning a whole new painting. Have you thought about your color schemes yet for this last painting?
I did, but I'm rethinking it.
I like it. Let's
Carolyn,
try.
give us the guidelines again on using the spectrum color wheel,
Right.
going for the split, which would give me a purple, yellow, green,
Yeah.
or green, and orange.
We will try to keep the same approach. So you're going to start with the purple. This purple, is that in? Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah.
That purple.
Yeah.
So your complement obviously is yellow. So you could do purple and the yellow orange, or purple and red, and yellow green or green. Purple, green, and red. Not sure about that, but if you do little marks on a paper, you could figure that out. These are pretty accurate. I don't know if you have to go through that whole total optical exercise again. You know how to do that now. It does take a little time, but if you want to try that to find, you're like, oh, this color is not quite the color I want. By doing that optical thing quickly, you can find the actual optical complement. And you don't have to do the whole grade scale, because now you've all tried that and you understand that. So depending on your sketch, I would do a couple little thumbnail color study, just quick little color studies to see if your colors are going to work together. Make adjustments before you go to your big picture. I mean, 9 by 12 is not that huge. So, and I'll give us some breaks. Does that sound good? Any questions, any thoughts? I'm going on dark UArt.
So just a quick question. So how many colors are we actually going to use this time?
Let's do 3 main ones with the tints and the shades. Yeah. If you feel you need a fourth, for instance, if Will were doing the purple and then he decided on these two as the split complements, what if he wanted to add a little more red in there as well? You could do that, or add the yellow in there.
Got it.
I think by just limiting our palette a little bit, it will help the cohesiveness of the overall painting.
Yes, it does, yeah.
Okay.
True, true, true.
All right. So it is now Eastern time, 4:33, which makes it 1:30 West Coast. What I'd like to do, we'll have a couple of quick check-ins, but we'll have about an hour and a half to work on this. And then we will upload to Palette so we can sit and relax and chat again, kind of review what we've gone over. Think of any questions or thoughts you might have during that. Sound good?
So
That's
we're,
good.
shoo- so we're
Yes, sir.
shooting for 6 p.m. as a wrap and then an hour for chat.
Yep, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. California, to stop and upload, and then we'll have a quick 5-minute break and have a little chat after that. Excuse me. I'm going to just read some notes. I have put this, I think I sent this with the last link that I sent you. So you guys go ahead and get prepared. And I'm just going to read some ideas that as we're thinking, as we're painting along. You are going to work still fairly quickly. An hour and a half is not a lot amount of time, a long amount of time to work. So if you're going to be doing a little planning, you want to hop right into that. Sometimes I'll make notes for myself, and on my easel, I will put a sticky note or something and just say intent to remember, why am I painting this particular thing? Yes, you're in a workshop, but once you make those initial decisions from your thumbnails, you go like, okay, I am trying to create a sunlight infused scene, or I'm trying to create a winter evening scene from this, and try to keep those colors and every step you take, every mark you make in the line of those thoughts, and keeping that initial focus. Initially, again, we talked about painting all over. Try to get some broad strokes down at first, large areas, so that it's all relating to each other as you move along. Then your middle layer, make some adjustments as you need. Keep thinking. Sometimes we get kind of, our mind starts to wander. So try to bring yourself every now and then back to, that's why the sticky note works sometimes. What's my intent? Why am I painting this? And try to keep that focus going throughout it. And try to keep it fresh, not overworked. If you feel like you're getting picayune, set the pastel down, step away from the easel, and give yourself 30 seconds to take a deep breath and look at the overall painting again. And during that time, you can also do a little self-critique. Are too many objects or shapes within the painting too much the same size? Is the intent that I had for the center of interest, is that working, or is something else fighting for the center of interest? And use your color and your lines and your contrast to pull it where you want the viewer to look. These are a lot of things, but those are just some things to keep in mind while we're going. Okay, paint away. I'm excited to see these. I think I'm going to do this little sketch I did when I was in Maine. It's at, where is this? Two Lights in Maine. It's their foghorn house. So, yeah. I like the rocks, me and rocks. But rocks tend to be very natural, so I might have to go. It'd be interesting to see what my neutral complements end up being. Will, have you heard from Chris? You texted him?
I talked to him when I took my break.
Okay.
But he said that he had sent you a message, but he's having trouble.
Yeah, it's not coming through. I'll keep an eye
Okay.
open, but I'm not seeing it. Thank you.
He does all of his work online, and this thing is the monkey on his back. He just is always fighting it. Not a
Is he
happy
like-
camper.
No, Jen Evenhoose, I think we talked, she at one point, she's on a ranch out in Oregon, way kind of out in the countryside. Somehow she got the city or the provider or something to lay an optical cable out to her property, edge of her property, and then
Mhm.
she had to pay for the optical cable to go the rest of the way to her house. But she does a lot of the, really,
Wow.
yeah, big online shows and workshops and things. She's kind of like Alan Picard. She has a professional studio. It looks very, very nice.
She knows people then, because we've been fighting for something hardline cable here, and nope, that's not going to happen.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Was it Chris that said he's waiting for Bezo to put up his satellites so he can work off those?
Yeah, he thinks it's going to be this fall or winter. So
Wow.
fingers crossed.
All right. I'm going to go mute, but I'm still here if anyone needs me. We're at about 5 o'clock, so that gives us about another hour. I'll give you a half-hour time. Looks like you're all busy and doing well, so if you need me, just let me know. How's everyone doing? Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Great.
Good.
No, it's great.
Awesome.
Having
have about-
fun.
Good, good. We have about 20 minutes left. I'm not going to be done, but we'll just take them as far as we can.
I'm done. Did I do something wrong?
Not at all. Nope. Mine's just coming slowly. You're welcome to do another small one, whatever you want to do.
I think I'll take a break.
Sounds good. Okay. I'm setting for 20 minutes. Oh my goodness, it's 6 o'clock. All right, I'm gonna get a chair. Well, I can do that during our break. Let's take a 5-minute break and come back. Try to upload if you can to Padlet, whatever we have.
I'll try again.
We'll try again. I'm here if anyone needs me.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Got it.
I don't know. I was on an olive colored paper, and I'm going over here, and I wanted to leave the olive colored paper because I like using the paper color as one of the elements of the painting.
Right.
But then, because I was with the Pastel Society of Maine, we were on our retreat, and I got thinking, I'm like, well, just in case if this came out, I just started thinking about that 80% covered, pastel on the surface and stuff. So I thought, well, how am I going to cover it? And from that sketch, there was kind of that lime green behind the rock. And then
That's bigger than I thought it was. That's good.
thanks. And, so this is mostly the paper, but what I did to cover it was I took some pan pastel, just a little bit of pan pastel with my sponge and just, kind of whooshed over it, just hardly anything there, but it's there,
So
And
the
then
green on the bottom is the color of the paper, but then scumbled, right?
This is basically, yeah, the color of the paper. I mean, you can't see detail, but you can up close, you can see some color over it a
Right.
little bit.
I can see it in shading, yeah.
Yeah,
That little
And-
dot of color, that light green.
right here.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Yeah, that's
That-
like, a little bit of seaweed because that was seawater. And it was the olive here and the olive above. And I'm like, oh, it needs something. And I just went crazy with that lime green up there. And I don't know, seemed to work. And it didn't get overworked like today's. I was just thinking it was just kind of a fun piece, and a couple of friends of mine said, "Oh no, you got to submit that one somewhere." So
There you go.
it got into what did that one get into? PSA or something? I was like, "Oh my gosh." Yeah, I missed IAPS this time. So those paintings I'd held out for IAPS, I can post them now.
But they had a massive number of submittals.
They did. They did.
So, I
You gotta
mean,
really up your game. It'd be interesting to see it. And I do like the fact that IEPS has separated the master circle from us
right.
underlings, you know.
We're not worthy.
We are not worthy. So, all right. Well, it's been 5 minutes.
It
Where is
is.
everybody? Hello.
It
Cindy?
is so windy in my town. It is just, the trees are whipping outside.
Oh, wow.
Where
Yeah.
are you? Where are you?
In Woodland, California, near Sacramento.
Okay, I'm in San Jose. It's
Is
getting
it windy there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh.
I had howling winds all night. It was just, and I'm 3,000 miles away, so it can't be the same front, but something's going on.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at Padlet. Okay, I don't have Leah's yet.
Oh, it should be on there.
Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to refresh. I keep forgetting that. Sometimes if it's not showing up, you have to refresh. Thank you for mentioning that. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I'm just organizing all my stuff, my papers, and making notes so I know what I did. So
Lynn,
I
I don't
can't
see my painting under my name. Did you post?
I thought I did. Yeah, let me go over.
Do a check on that, please.
Yeah, refresh your Padlet. It's there.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Rick, I didn't see one for you. Where are you? You're on mute.
I just put it up again. It should be there.
All right, I will refresh again.
It's a incredibly horrible photo.
But the painting is marvelous, yes?
Well, in terms of the colors, it's just kind of blows my mind, but yeah, but I don't know what it is about me and digital cameras, but it leaves out about half the detail. And
Yep. No, I'm not
I think
getting
it tries
still.
it tries to average out all the colors or something. I don't know.
No, yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
Is anyone else seeing his? Are you on Padlet? Because I'm just still getting the one from this afternoon. From the first session.
so far I'm just seeing the one from this afternoon.
Same
You
here.
too?
This afternoon.
Under Richard? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let me do it again.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just refreshing now.
I just got my barn back, so that's good.
He got his barn back. Oh,
Happy.
Linda, these are cool.
This was fun.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you put a video. Okay, I'm not going to play it yet.
Huh?
Wait, how is that? How did I miss that? Did that skip different? Oh, wow. Was the video from before, Linda?
Actually, yeah, that was some sort of mistake I made. I don't know how it wound up being a video. You mean the let me go back.
Yeah, it's the one from last night with the sketch and the orange and magenta trees with the blue background.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be a video, but somehow it went
Yeah.
to video. I don't,
It doesn't
Rick,
move.
Rick, your
Yeah.
piece
Okay.
is the same clip, but next generation.
Yes,
Okay, now it's up.
it
You're
should be
on.
there now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving across. Ah, there it is. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Quelle différence, no?
Mhm.
Mhm. Right. Is everyone back? I'm still kind
Oh,
of
wow.
looking at things. Yeah, sometimes if you look on the Padlet yourself, you're going to see a little bit different than what I'm going to be showing. Again, because it's going to be processed from Padlet over the internet into my computer, then back to you guys. So, all right. Everyone here? Leah, Jennifer?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just sitting. making
Okay. Will, you
coming.
disappeared? Will took off. Oh, let me see while we're doing, before we check these, I just wanted to kind of do a quick review, and I appreciate again your willingness to try this kind of different twist on color approaches and getting out of your comfort zone and working in this oblique strategy is basically what it is. Musicians use the oblique strategy a lot when they get stuck in a rut, and they'll do these odd things to help push them out of that rut, out of that zone. The optical persistence, that retinal persistence when we're staring at something and then doing that, I think that's, to me, that's fascinating to see what our bodies can do to interpret light in different ways and the different colors we get. And when I work correctly with the difference, I find that the colors are more exciting than the classic pigment color wheel. And that's why I like sharing that as well. So, and you also learned a new use for credit card. You know, I love how people are like, why do we have to have a credit card? You know, so that was fun. And the Padlet, as I said, will stay up for a while until I need it for something else, but that doesn't happen that often. And I'll get rid of older ones first. So you're welcome to go ahead and make comments, or if you continue working on any of the paintings you did yesterday and today and want to put those up later, I might do that with mine. If I, keep going on this piece, I'll put up what happens with it later on. Or I might just give up on it. You know how sometimes, usually it's better to set them aside. I was seeing a couple artists recently, Laura Molnick. I'm not sure if you know her work, but she does beautiful portraits, and she pulled out some old paintings and she's like, oh, I washed over this one. She was looking at old photos of paintings. She said, I wish I hadn't done that. I kind of like it now. So sometimes it's good to hang on to things a little longer than you expect. Some things are fixable, or you learn new tricks and things. So we'll chat about this. Again, I will try to process these videos as quickly as possible, get those to you. I'll send you a package in an email of the links to the videos, and basically that's it, and any other pertinent information I come across. So let's look at your work from today, this afternoon, I'll call it. Linda, I love this. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, this was I don't know, I had some trouble. Now that I look at it from a distance, there's sort of that hard line between that yellow sky, the orange sky, and the yellow background. But all in all, it was fun.
A hard line
Well, yeah, you see
in here?
where the orange meets the yellow. There's a little, I don't know, I may go back and kind of do something with that. I don't know.
You
Maybe
mean
I'll just be
kind of too even going across? I'm not sure. I'm not following you.
it's I think it needs to be broken up somewhere.
Okay.
And it's sort of it's for that strong diagonal. And I think if I just break that line somewhere, but that's not a big deal.
That blue, it's like a deep cerulean blue against that orange, and then that touch of lime green in there is just this, like in this area, is delicious. And this area here, this red against this blue here.
Yeah. I really like the way that came out.
Yeah.
Was I had set up my palette and I remembered what you said about my last one and the absence of some darks. So I went back and I found a darker. So that was good. That was good
This red,
advice.
you mean this red here? You had this orange and then
Yeah,
you,
the red orange. I didn't have the
Yeah.
red orange at first, and I really think it adds to it. Having
it's
that
it.
red
And
orange.
it looks like you put a little bit up in here as well.
I did just to kind of do a little echo.
Yeah, you
thing.
don't really notice it at first, but it pulls those areas together, like this, and that triangular shape. If you can take each element, as I was saying, I think before, of the painting alone by itself, and if it's a strong image that way, then the overall painting is going to work. Like if you took just this blue, it has a nice shape and a nice drawing. Just the orange, it's not just here, but there's hints of it down in here that help balance the painting out. The same with the green, you have green here, here, and here, right? So they're all individually working, so together they really come together.
Yeah. Well, in the photo, the sunlight was just bouncing all over the place. And that little
And if you work
yard,
with that too much, it just gets spotty, right? It just like too much all over.
Yeah. Just a quick note, that photograph is the backyard of the Olson homestead in Maine.
Oh,
Andrew Wyeth is Christina as a model for his Christina's World painting. It's the homestead. Have you gone there on all your trips to Maine? Have you gone to the Olson?
I grew up in Maine and I haven't been to the Olson
I've been there.
homestead.
It's
Tourists go there. I haven't.
it's a magical place.
Oh my gosh, I spent one beautiful, a day like today, it was October, several years ago. A gorgeous day, it was middle of the week, no one was there except me. The docent was very lovely, a gal named Nan Jones. She said, oh, do what you want, go everywhere you want, go on your own. And I took these, I have a zillion pictures from that day. It was one of those
I love
special
it.
days. Anyway.
I think at that
background
point where
about
the
that
Olson
photo.
home is, I'm so anxious to get through with Wiscasset because there's usually a backup of traffic on Route
Yes.
1 in Wiscasset. So I think someday I'll come back and stop on my way back.
I
Because
had the same.
Yeah.
I had the same guide, Nancy. She's an ex-school teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, lovely. And I love the way she plays in that country rock band, the Rusty Hinges. Are they still around?
That I didn't
Rusty-
know. That no.
Okay.
The Rusty Hinges. Anyone else have comments on this?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think it's a complete. It's beautiful. Like I said before, it's a tapestry. It's very very handsome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like the composition. I like the twist in the tree
Mm.
and how it contributes to that curve of the tree.
Yeah, I think I added a few limbs, but it was for compositional purposes. Yeah.
The twist in the trunk goes that way as well.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
right,
allowed.
right through here.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow. Exciting. All right. Oh, I know what happened. Something happened here. Cindy. Oh,
Ooh.
a new interpretation of this one.
So I decided to really push the colors. I thought, well, if I'm going to do a pink sky and green sun and clouds, I'm going to try a red ocean. So the clouds ended up a little cartoonish, but it was a good exercise in pushing the colors.
It is very nice. It's there. The white is, it's not white. I realize it's a light pink, but that's kind of flat with the outline, which might, but it's a very interesting compositional shape there too. And you went back to the pink, which you,
For the sky?
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, in the last one, it was an orange, but in this one, it is a pink. It's a light magenta.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do blue because that just seemed, since I was trying non-representational and I had magenta and green and blue. And I meant to do my cloud blue with red for the shading, but I completely spaced it and went pink. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway.
No, I like it. I like it. Someone else? You also adjusted the size shapes of these, so these are not as similar.
I did.
Before. Yeah.
It was hard for me because it put the horizon line almost at the middle. So it was like, okay, I'm going to try it.
Learning the rules to break the rules, right? And you can do it if it balances out properly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like the sparkle from the sun. Is it sunset or sunrise?
It's sunset.
Sunset. I like the sparkle.
This here, I like all those colors in there. Really nice.
Right.
I like that shape of the cloud on the top left. It's really a great counterpoint to the sort of the other straight lines. It's nice.
Like, yeah, these are all straight, and this is kind of, and they're little like pieces, like confetti there, and this counterbalances that.
Yeah.
There's the painting always needs a place, a resting place for the eye to go, and that's, I think, where that is. It's fun. I love that cloud. Yeah. Anyone?
Nice. I think I like this color combo a little better. It's more interesting, dramatic.
The layering in here of the purple and the blue are really nice too. I'm just going to hop back up to the other one.
Oh,
Yeah, this almost seems a little more traditional, right? There's your pink up there as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this one pulls together a little more. Pulls together.
The green is a nice addition.
Yeah, I kept the same green. And
Didn't seem so green in the, didn't see as much of the green in the first one.
In the first one, well, partway through, she had a lot of this, why does it keep doing that? More of a lime green she had right along here, which she softened, if you remember that. And they're both so different, which I love. This is where you kind of hang them up as a diptych somewhere, you know, side by side.
this is so good to paint the same thing more than once with
Yes.
unique colors, and especially with your comments on the first one to help the second one, for me, really helpful.
Excellent.
So, thank you.
Okay, what is it doing here? Computer's doing something weird. Leah. I looked when Leah was painting, and I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, she has like 9 color sketches here. She went like this. And that was within what, 10 minutes or so? I don't know. It just seems so quickly that you had done it.
Yeah, I tried to keep them, the color sketches, just like pick the 3 colors and just get a general idea of placement instead of really getting into detailed on the color sketches so I could get to the bigger piece.
Right, and this gives you a choice of things to look at. You've done them quickly. You go, oh, which one? So everyone else, which one would you choose out of this if you haven't looked at the last painting?
I love the one she did, so I'm kind of biased.
Okay, you're thinking about that, yeah.
I haven't seen it. So lower left, maybe?
You like the lower left?
I like the lower left.
Yeah.
I like the top right.
me too.
Greens and
Okay.
If I
Rick,
weren't
what
gonna
about
pick
you?
the one she did, I like the top left. If I weren't going to choose the one she did.
the top left.
All right, drum roll. What's you pick?
Yeah, I kind of like this one too. Let's see. And here it comes. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Ah, nice. Ooh.
Nice.
Nice handling the boat. That's lovely.
Yeah, thank you.
You can feel the volume, which is the trick. Yeah.
I think if I had planned a little better, I probably would have moved the boat up a tiny bit.
I want to pop back to this sketch for a second. Yeah. These seem, I don't know, closer or something than the final. It seems like there's more space here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you could do is just, instead of moving the boat, move the shadow of that clump of trees down, which would bring
Yeah.
it back together.
That would make it much easier. That's an easier pick.
You're not going to move that boat. No moving the boat.
I think in the sketch that little point was a little bit lower.
Yeah. Coming down here. And this way you have almost this S shape of design going in here,
So
where this one is a little more disconnected here.
Pull the shadows down would be an easy fix to that.
Yeah.
On both
Excellent idea.
sides, because those are big trees. So their reflection should be dragged down into the water, which would bring the whole thing together.
I like this very just gentle hint of red up here too that helps pull that and balance that out. It's almost, at first you almost don't notice that it's reddish up there because that yellow is that yellow?
It's a yellow green.
A yellow green.
And it's a light version of the yellow green, so it tends to be more yellow.
Yeah. And it's hard on a computer to see exactly what the color is doing for us.
And I didn't end up adding more of that magenta color because it started to feel too much like a traditional sunset or something that I was trying to stay away from.
It's subtle. It's very, and it which is nice. It's almost picked up subconsciously instead of consciously as you're looking at it. Nice. Okay. Elora Gorge. Where is this? Is this out west somewhere?
It's out in Ontario.
Oh, that's right. You're in Ontario. Beautiful. And you're on a bridge here?
We are, yes.
Oh, nice. There's a place in the White Mountains that's similar to this in New Hampshire. What a beautiful spot.
It's a very popular tourist spot. There's an old mill further down upstream or whatever. Upstream.
Nice, Jennifer. And here is her interpretation. Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, wow. Oh my goodness. It's lovely.
It worked.
I like the little hints of the magenta pink on the edges.
Yeah, I underpainted the land masses with the magenta, and the water was underpainted with yellow, as was the sky.
Nice.
It's very atmospheric and moody. Wonderful muted colors.
Soothing. It matches your voice. Your voice is very soothing. And this matches your voice.
It's like, I know this is Jennifer's because it's soft and muted. It's very sweet. It's beautiful. Your aerial perspective is working great. And aerial perspective is the fact, there's more atmosphere and moisture between us and the distance. So everything softens and loses contrast and becomes this softer tone back here, which you draw the viewer's eye right back into that mist of what's back there in the future. I mean, in the distance, Beautiful. So you started with the magenta, then the green.
And that's only like a gray green that's dragged across for the rapids. It's not any blue or anything like that. I don't have any blue anywhere. So I was quite proud of myself. No blue.
No blue. Well, did that take effort on your part?
Well, the fact that I wasn't doing local colors or something like that. But,
Right.
although the green ended up local, so I'm like a boomerang.
We try, but with again with that the magenta kind of peeking through it makes it sparkling.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Wonderful. Okay, there was Richard's. This is the one he did this, and he got bold, Rick, and did it again.
Yeah,
Ah,
and this time my base color was the violet, and I did go ahead and use its complement, the yellow, but then I did a split which brought in the orange and green, and I felt like that gave me a little bit more room.
How
Rick,
did
how
you,
tall is that cliff?
Hmm.
Just roughly.
Maybe 50, 60 feet.
Okay.
how did you create the colors of the tree trunks? Because I mean, your colors are wonderful.
Well, off the color wheel, I had four base colors. And then I took, for each of them, I did one value lighter and one value darker. And then I cheated on the tree trunks and I pulled out the eggplant. But I figured it was okay because it was violet.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
And so I used the tree trunks were all a base of the eggplant, and then I just working on the side that the light would be hitting them. And I actually think my shadows on the trees and the shadows on the cliffs are wrong. They're going opposite directions. But anyways,
Looks great.
Wait, what?
yeah, then I picked out a variety of the colors and used them to build up the tree trunks.
What, are you on a dark paper?
Yeah, I did switch to black. This is a black paper.
I was trying
Yeah.
to figure out if you had the black showing through or if you went through and put the eggplant.
No, I did. I put the eggplant on.
Oh, you did? I mean, up in the sky, is that the paper?
No, yeah,
That
that's
thing.
just the paper. Yeah, that's the paper
Yeah.
coming through.
Okay.
So you can almost see that UART, yes, is that right? The dark UART,
Yeah, the 400.
right? Which is not really black. It's a dark
Right.
charcoal gray, but you can see here that the eggplant does look darker than the
Mhm.
paper.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was just
yeah.
trying to figure out if he had gone through and added the eggplant elsewhere or if that was the paper coming through, because it's a nice effect.
Yeah, the only place
It is.
I used the eggplant was on the tree trunks, and then I put a little bit in the shadows from the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only place.
Which is good because it's less here. This is receiving a lot less light than
Right,
this.
right.
This is getting bounced light coming around it.
Yeah.
Um, your shadows are your trees. You mentioned your shadows. They're going this way. I don't
Yeah.
see why the cliffs are
Well,
off.
I guess in the photograph, there's actually a little bit of shadows going to the right off the cliff.
Mm.
Well,
Oh,
no,
in
it isn't,
here?
is it?
No,
Yeah,
it's like
actually, that's coming from above.
the light's coming from over, like in this corner this way, and this must jut out just enough to cause a light shadow right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
should have
this
put
is
my shadows on
interesting.
the other side of the trees, but
Mhm.
But they're receiving shadows from somewhere. So the shadow that looks like it's coming from this tree, right, is actually probably from a tree over in this area. I don't
yes.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, that side of the canyon is heavily wooded. And that was like 10:30 in the morning we were down there.
Mm.
I can see why you took the picture. Those rocks are
The texture's great.
wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I decided this is a photograph that I've wanted to paint for a while, and so that's why I kind of focused on it now. But I need to spend a whole time teaching myself how to do the rocks.
You know, there's an artist here that I think she's local, but she has some reference to rock cliffs, sandstone rock cliffs, and she does a wonderful job. If I can find her contact, I'll send it to you.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Lots
you.
and lots and lots of texture. I think the name of her pastel is Possum something or other, Possum Gorge or something like that.
Yeah, another one if you want to study rocks is they're not this type of rocks, but Linnacelta is the queen of rocks.
Yeah, I love her work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking of all the main shores that she does with it's
Mhm.
just stunning.
How do you spell her last name?
Asselta. She's about to be taking a break from painting for a while. She's going to have her first grandchild, so
Huh?
yeah. I'm excited for her. I also like how you moved this tree from the edge of the rocks. That was
Right,
so they
right,
weren't
yeah.
coming right together. I thought you were kind of going to give up on this photograph, so I'm really pleased that you tried it again, and it's obvious
Yeah,
that you've learned some things through the processes.
yeah. No, I really want to keep, this is one of the ones I want to work on this winter.
Are you going to use this color palette?
Pardon me?
Are you going to use this color palette?
I might. I really,
like
yeah, I like
Yeah.
it too. And I think if I, kind of regress and, I'll have, the sky will be blue and, the grass will be grass green
Mm.
and I'll have, 30 different colors in there and it'll look okay, but it won't, it just won't have that wow that I'm looking for.
And this, you can see that the colors do go together very well. This was a really good choice of color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
green and orange are especially nice together. That
Mhm.
sort of muted green in the two tones. It's nice against the orange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a
Orangey, yeah.
super strong green, so it allows that
Yeah.
orange to really pop out. It's nice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the
it
details,
doesn't-
go ahead.
It doesn't feel unnatural.
No. These in your touches in the trees are just, somebody said that earlier, how beautiful that is. And it's almost like the trunk is reflecting all this light from around it, it's bouncing
Yeah,
back onto
yeah.
the trunk.
Right. Right. Mhm.
This looks a little,
Oh, the shape of the trees is horrible, but
Not
Um,
true.
yeah, yeah.
this is a good place where if you take the sharp edge of a hard pastel, and if you don't have the sharp edge, you can sand it down on one of those
Mhm.
board things to give you a sharp edge, and almost just kind of
Yeah.
touch the edge and kind of drag it.
Mhm. Yeah, I
so-
do that for branching, and something else I started this year is I do some larger pieces that have trees in them. They're real vertical. They're 8 inches wide and 26 inches tall. And so there's room to put a lot more detail of branching in.
Yeah.
And on a couple of them, I've started using an indigo acrylic ink, and I use it with a really fine brush. And I don't paint it on, I kind of tap it on. So you get the kind of the bends and little angles and stuff in some of these branches.
do you put that
And,
on near the beginning or toward the end of the painting?
and it's more near the end of the painting. And then after I get the branches on, then I'll go back and use pastel like I have in here to highlight, whether it's the light hitting it or,
Like in this area?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in there.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to see what you're
Yeah.
going to continue doing. Everyone,
Thank you.
and poor Chris. So sorry, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll encourage him to put something up anyway after. I did email him and tell him what we were doing this afternoon, and he'll get the video as well. I am on
I'll be
record,
happy.
am I not?
Chris,
Yes, I am.
I'm not Chris, excuse me. Will, I love this piece.
Oh,
Mhm.
thank you. Thank you.
Very nice.
Why do you love it?
It all works together so well. It's just soothing to look at. And yet the colors, I know they're complementary, but it's gentle on the eyes. And yet it's still interesting. I don't know if that made sense.
There's a lot
I'll
of
say-
detail in the barn side, and then there's a lot of detail in the fencing too. And
Mhm.
they form a focal point in the picture.
Kind of as it comes in this way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well-
I like that there's a lot of detail in the pickets of the fence and the planking of the boardwalk, and then even back into the building. But it's very loose. It's almost impressionistic.
It's quite loose for an architect, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I'm marveling, because I don't know when I've put this amount of detail in. I don't think I'm this loose yet.
Mm.
It looks
What are your
really
three
good though.
colors?
Yeah.
What was the color you started with, Will?
Magenta, cyan, and yellow,
Wow.
Oh,
and branched from there.
yeah. I really like the sky. It
Mhm.
looks like a storm sky. actually.
It's at the edge of a cliff on the west coast, so it could be. And I mean, from behind the barn, it drops into a gorge down into the rocky shores. So there's a
Ah.
lot of atmosphere going on there.
Yeah,
So
and
this is a rock cliff behind?
Yes, it's a very severe cliff. But it's across the gorge. So I tried to haze that out because there's a lot of mist coming in, rolling in.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
funny because I saw it said Sea Ranch, and I'm like, oh, they have a Sea Ranch out there too. But it's really the Sea Ranch out here by me.
It's California.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no sea ranch in Western North Carolina.
No,
Well, that's why I was surprised.
I was like, wait
I'm
a minute.
we don't have a lot of cliffs here.
Well, I
No.
was thinking on the east. I was thinking
I
it was
know,
somewhere on
I'm
the east
teasing.
coast, not here. But that's funny.
Yeah, one little thing is this line is going right off the corner of the painting,
You're right.
you know. So that's
Abs-
about the only thing. I
Yeah.
like the irregularity of the fence, that it breaks up and it's not just like, the perfect all the way
Well, it's
along.
funny out there. They have these fences all over Sea Ranch, and they're stakes that they've used in growing grapes, and then they reuse them as fence posts.
Oh,
So they're sort of hand split, very rustic, and I guess they do the job. Or maybe they're just a signature of the area, but there's a ton of them out there that I've never seen anywhere else.
cool.
Yeah.
In the last few paintings you've done, Will, I've noticed this feathery quality that seems to be something that I don't know if you've done it before, but recently and I think in one of the last paintings, it was in the distance, the lake painting in the distance.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how you're doing that, but it's creating a beautiful texture. And down here, this texture, look at this corner that's almost, you almost don't notice it at first, but look at all that's happening there.
Yeah. Almost looks like
Wow.
a watercolor with the overlays of color. Hmm.
I washed in the sky, and I used a lot of alcohol, and then it was to keep it from running down into the painting, I dabbed it off. So that brought some of the color of the original paper in. So
Yeah.
I don't have a white up there. That's just the original paper with a very, very light wash on it.
Up here,
Up there, yeah.
that's the paper
That-
showing through?
That's UART 14, yeah, or 400.
400.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think the feathering is sort of something that I picked up with Picard's course, that where he aggressively layers and then feathers, and he washes, then he brings up his little feathering brush and what does he call it, a hake brush? Is that right?
Does he use a hake brush or a fan brush? A hake brush?
A hake brush.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what he uses for feathering? I've got one here.
Yeah.
Does everyone know what a hake brush is?
Isn't it Japanese?
Rabbit fur. I
Yeah,
think.
they look like this. They're very soft, and you can actually break off the little individual bamboo pieces. So he
And I
uses
use-
that. Oh,
And then I use the fan brush to wipe this in. So I don't have a hake brush, but I do have a fan brush.
oh, you use the fan brush. Okay.
Right.
Wow. These are oh, that's not going to work. I'm doing a drag on my desk instead of my my touchpad. These are. Oh, did I miss this one, Linda?
No.
Oh, you
No.
cropped it.
Oh, that was another crop job.
Did you cropping away?
Yeah.
I like it cropped. You lose some of this down here.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the way this comes down, like cascades down over this little hill the tree is on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just kind of, I always kind of like to play around and see different views.
Yeah,
Some
I like it. I like it. Linda Selta will say, like, don't worry about, we try to fit things into a standard size because framing costs quite a bit. She says, but you're not going to frame everything anyway. So if you want to change the proportions of the painting, go ahead and do it and then frame that. Because sometimes, as Rick was saying about his tall, long ones, those work very well for that. You are going to have to get custom framing or do it yourself. But, oh, I see one behind you, Rick, right? With your trees. There's one right behind you.
Yeah, that one,
Two
Or
of them.
two. Yeah.
yeah, there's two of them.
Okay, I'm going to.
This one, I guess it's got a big pine tree right in the front.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
that's one where I used the acrylic ink on the branches and then
Mhm.
highlighted it with pastels.
Oh,
Nice.
And that one is actually 12 inches wide and 26 tall.
see, and then
Yeah.
the other long ones behind you, also those long horizontal ones that the bottom one especially needs that length for that composition. It just works so nicely.
Do you frame your own, Rick?
Well, I buy the frames from a company called Frame Destination. They're down in Dallas, Texas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they ship me the frame and the glass and a backing board. And when I was matting my work, I would cut my own mats, but this year I've stopped putting mats on.
That was my next question. Yeah.
In
Yeah.
fact,
Oh, yeah.
I'll try to get close to you.
a question about that too. About
I'm mounting, I put all my paper on a mountain board with the sheeted that we're talking about, Will.
Yeah.
And instead of putting a mat on top of it, I mount it to a piece of mat board and I just leave a little 2-inch border around, and you only use half as much mat board.
So so you're basically floating it then?
Yeah, yeah,
And do you use spacers or
yeah. There's
You
a
do?
1/4-inch spacer around the edge, so
Okay.
so the image, the paper is a little, it's not touching the glass off it. And I think it makes it's easier to see that it's an original piece of art, that it's not a print. And I also think, like, the traditional way I was doing it, first you got the frame, and then you got the mat of the glass, and then you got the mat, and then you get to the image. And this way it's just pulling the image just front and center. I started doing that. Pardon?
Can you see the edge of the what you're mounting to? Let's call it cardboard. Can you see the edge of that?
Yeah. I use some conservation mat mounting board.
Black?
Yeah.
Okay.
I started all this because late last year, I finally bought one of Tony Elaine's pastels. And when it showed up, of course, it was not framed, but he had it mounted to a piece of black foam core. And it was, the edge of it was kind of beveled back, so you didn't really see the foam core that much. And I was kind of perplexed about how to frame it. And so I just hit upon this idea to take his work and then just using that sheet adhesive, mount it to a piece of mat board, and then put some spacers on it and frame it. And I liked it so much that I just started doing all my work that way.
Several years ago, I took a workshop with Richard McKinley, and he talked about the way he does his paintings. Again, this is a number of years ago. He puts the pastel directly against the glass,
Right.
and then tapes the edge, with a really, with a I guess a framer's tape. So I've been doing that.
That's called passepartout. Yep.
They seem to be okay. And I decided I was going to have a framer frame up one of my pastels. I was in a hurry, and I asked her to do it that way, and she said, "I will not put pastel against the glass." It was like I'd ask her to run down Main Street with no clothes on. I will not. So I was wondering if is it a bad thing, a good thing? I don't know.
It's a major controversy. It's a major controversy.
Yeah.
I had started doing it a couple of years ago because Richard McKinley does it. Alan Picard does it.
Alan Picard does it. Yep.
Yep. There's others that do it. Some of the people who are framers, and I was a professional framer way back as well, and I do my own framing. Some of them are just so concerned about moisture. Oh, moisture is going to get in there and ruin it. But if you frame it when you're in a dry situation and you seal it around the edge with a framer's tape, and you have the glass, the painting, and then the board that's behind it, if that's kind of water resistant as well, and then you seal it, it's sealed. And I have taken some of those apart after a couple, 2-3 years, and very little. There's a hint of a ghost maybe of the pastel in that, but not much. That's been my experience. But there are others that are just saying, no, don't ever do that, I think there was a recent discussion on the PSA Facebook, and it was back and forth. So.
Yeah. Good. Well, it's good to know because it seems to be working out. Okay. So,
But I figured if Richard
good,
does
good.
it and Alan does it, you know, and the French have done it for a long time.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is it that they tape around?
With framer's tape, pastel goes directly against the glass. And
Okay.
then you take, and then you sort of tape, it's a little fussy, but you've got to lay a very thin edge of I use black tape around that edge, and you just wrap the tape around the board and the glass, and
Okay.
it sandwiched right on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I have another little kind of off-topic question for everybody. I do a lot of plein air, and next week, myself and members of a very informal little plein air group are going to go up to Mystic, Connecticut for the day and paint. And I don't know if anybody's been to Mystic, Connecticut. It's a recreation of an 18th century, 19th century, early 19th century, a whaling town. It was a lot of and sailors and fishing boats and all this. So it's quite an expansive place. It's wonderful. They have people in period costumes at the blacksmith shop, and goes on and on. There's boats. There's a historical whaling ship. I think this is Charles Morgan. So anyway, so I called them up and I said that I was coming and we were going to paint. Would that be okay? And they said, oh, wonderful. We'd love to have you. We're going to ask you to sign an artist release form when you get your ticket. I said, oh, fine, great. So they said, we'll send it ahead so you can have it all done. Okay, fine. So I get it in on email, and it's, my name, my address. And the statement is that artists are not permitted to exhibit or sell paintings done on the property. They can only be for personal use, not commercial use. So I thought that was rather an odd thing. Has anyone come across this kind of situation before?
Is this a private property?
That I am not sure about.
Yeah, some of them, when they say that, you can actually like get a license and you actually pay a fee, and then you can use the images and stuff like that.
Right.
But I think actually if you go to zoos and you take pictures, yeah, it's the same thing. I know the San Francisco Zoo is technically the same thing, where you can use them for your personal,
I see.
Your own personal thing. You can't use them to sell or publish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Here where we are, the Biltmore estate, it's the Vanderbilt estate. You can paint on the property, but you are not, they have copyrighted the building and the outbuildings and stuff. So you can't, I mean, it's private property and they open it to the public, but yeah, they've copyrighted the images. So you can paint anything else, but don't try to sell a painting of the house.
I see. I guess it's the same situation. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's good comment. This is Richard. I just put this in the chat. The link to this is where he describes how to do a passe-partout. It's the glass and a backboard and the tape around the edge. So it's totally sealed. And he talks about the strong pH neutral tape. So you're doing it. But then I go back to the idea that here's Jamie Wyeth painting on cardboard. Why am I freaking out about everything being archival? And I'm not a fraction as good as Jamie Wyeth is.
Well, also, Alan Picard sort of admitted last week that he lightly hits his pieces with a fixative. And
he uses the Lasco.
The Lasco, and he says that's just sort of a little bit of insurance that whatever's there is doesn't change the darkness, the color, or anything else. It just sort of cements it, and if there's anything loose, it sort of cements it into place.
Yeah, and a good thing to do before you even do that is just tap the work on the back and get those really loose particles off from there. But this one does not change the color. You see, I have cooler in here, so when I'm traveling from here to Maine, I make sure I put this in a cooler because if it gets hot in the car, I've wasted a whole can of this. And the same with my clear shield that I put on my hands. But I got this back in May. You know, I date it too to figure out how long it lasts, and I'm not even halfway through it. I don't use it heavily. And let me just do a quick, if you don't, and if you, sorry, if you do decide to fix, is that spot lit on this? Now here, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you want to do is you don't want to start spraying right on the work. I guess I want to be on this side. What I do is I'll test it off to the side, not in the house. I usually take it outside if I'm going to spray. And I'll start the spray off to the side and just do an even sweep past the painting. So there's no stopping and changing direction in one spot on the painting. So you're back about 12 or 15 inches and you're doing just a very light back and forth spray of that to get an even and light spray onto it. But that's the only one. I've tried all sorts of other fixatives over the however many years I've been doing this. And I used to teach kids classes and I used hairspray on theirs. You know, so wow. Interesting. Lots done in 2 days. I have no idea how people do more than 2-day workshops. Can you imagine going another full day or another 2 days? It's just, it's intense. It's intense.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
you have been a wonderful group. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be with you folks. And I will send out that information as I mentioned. And I hope we keep in touch. Maybe get on my email list so when I have other workshops, if you're interested, that's all. So, and let me know if you play around with this in the future and how things come out.
Well, Terry Lynn,
Oh, yes.
I've done maybe about a dozen workshops with different artists, and I think this is by far the best one, because all the other workshops I've done, at least half of the time I'm in the workshop, I'm sitting there watching somebody do something, which is instructive. It's fun to see how they do things, but you don't learn by really watching. And this has just been wonderful. It's like 90% of the time we're doing stuff. So
It's exhausting.
great job. Well, it is. And I'm glad there's not a third day, but you know, no,
And then for
exhausting,
me,
but-
a workshop is to teach, you know, and I'm such a teacher that I feel that's the focus for me anyway, a focus of a workshop. If you want me to do a demo, I'll do a demo, but that's a totally different thing, in my opinion. And I try to focus down enough on a certain concept or two to get that across and give the participants a good chance to practice it. Because you're not going to know by watching, you learn by doing.
Exactly.
So I appreciate that comment. Thank you.
And there's been a boatload of information. I mean, it's almost too much to comprehend, and that's the reason I want to see the recording, because you know, you see it once and you pick out maybe 20-30%, and you see it again, maybe you're up to 50%, and then you know, then you can put it to use.
Yeah.
You need to do a part 2 that it's like you know, where you do what we've done and we have a chance to go and play and we come back and take it a step further or something to might be kind of a nice workshop. And I don't know what else you tie it in with, but well, part 2 would be nice.
Thank you. I'm kind of thinking of like just a 1-day thing, follow up or something possibly.
So will we continue to have access to the Padlet?
Yes, I'm going to leave Padlet up. I don't pay for Padlet, so I can have 3 created boards up there. And there's a couple ahead of this class, so it'll be up there for a while. I will give you notification if I'm going to take it down probably as well.
Good.
Okay,
Now you can also download from the Padlet,
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I've been downloading some stuff. Yeah.
And I might add a couple extra sheets like I finally found the one last night when you guys talked about the fruit and vegetables. I'm like, where was it? And it's that I often, I have designed sheets because I've been teaching so long and I don't just use the same thing over and over, but I had changed it to suit this workshop, but I had left the fruit and vegetable things. Ah, well,
It's a good snack.
that's right. It's a nice snack.
And
So
tomorrow's vegetable soup, right?
there
Yeah.
you go. Vegetable
Right.
soup with fruit for the dessert. If you don't
Mm.
mind, I might ask because I am trying to build up my workshops and things. I'm not as well known as some of the other teachers. If I could get like maybe a short paragraph from anyone who feels so inclined, how the workshop worked for you and to kind of get it out there for other people as well. If you
With a
Yeah.
with a release.
with
Yeah.
a release. Oh, yes. Do I have to have a legal release? Oh, here's the other question I
No.
meant to ask you. Can I use some of your paintings as demonstrations? Do you want me to put your name with them or would you rather I not use them at all? That's okay. Just anything that's on Padlet would be what I might look at.
You
20
can use it.
bucks. 20
Not
bucks.
you will.
That was quick.
Well, Will and
Yeah,
I
you can
get-
use anything of mine. That's fine.
Sure, go
Yeah,
go right ahead.
Yeah, that's
Thank-
fine.
You
Yes.
can
Use
use
all
any of
mine.
mine.
Thank you. Thank you. I like showing,
Yeah.
like students have created, not students, you're really more than students, but created these works with the workshop.
Just
and
don't
that's
put my
nice.
name by it.
No name?
No name. Oh, I don't, you use it however you want.
I met Will in a workshop. What was it, 4 years ago, Will?
I'll
We were in a
bet, yeah.
Linda
Yeah.
Selter workshop. And for some
Hmm.
reason, we didn't really know each other. That's when we first met. We're up at the back of the room being like the bad kids in class.
I don't remember
So-
that.
You don't remember that? No, you're above all that.
None of us doubts it.
Yeah, right?
About Will.
There is no proof. I have no pictures. No.
No, that is true. Well, I do have you with a roll of paper towels
Ooh,
at dinner. Yeah, I have no
The
idea.
paper towel incident.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Any questions of me? Anything else that I hate to leave you guys, but it is like quarter
Thank you.
past.
Yeah.
It was excellent. I really enjoyed
Thank
it.
you.
Pushed me out of my comfort zone, but was all very good.
I
Yeah.
think that's the telling point. How uncomfortable were you? Pretty
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you
And it
feel
was
like
awesome.
that discomfort helped you accomplish and move you beyond?
Oh, it did. It
That's
did.
the point. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the bottom line of this whole thing.
Good.
The optical thing was hard today. And it was easier to pick colors optically, but that flag, after staring at that flag, I got a little nauseous.
The eyes start going buggy. Yeah. But it's a way
Yeah.
because then you can see how the colors on the wheel, especially that Fage wheel, that Florent Fage, you understand that, yes, those are the optical complements. So you don't always have to do the eye exercise
Yeah.
because that can get tedious. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Great.
But
It was-
actually doing it helps you understand it.
Mhm.
Yes, that's true. You can hear things and say, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that next time I go out to paint. But when you sit there and actually do it, then it becomes
It connects, right?
much
You-
Muscle
own it.
memory.
Yeah.
Muscle memory.
Yeah,
That's exactly.
yeah.
I really
Uh-huh.
appreciated
Yeah.
I really appreciated your lesson plan, the way that you started out very simply and then we complicated it and then we complicated it. I thought it was a wonderful way to learn.
Thank you.
I
Thank you. My
agree.
mother was a teacher as well, so I learned a
Uh,
lot from her too, how to build up.
Yeah.
Because you can't, in a group like this from all over the area, I mean, from the east to the west coast to Canada and stuff, we don't know where we all are. So it's good to lay some sort of solid foundation of some basics. and then build on that.
Yeah.
You're quite an
Excellent.
accomplished group.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Terry Lynn. This was really exceptional. I'm taking away quite a bit of new good stuff.
Excellent.
It's
Excellent.
great. Yeah.
Well done.
Been
Well,
really
Yeah.
good.
put together.
And it was
Thank-
nice meeting everyone.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, nice
Mhm.
working with everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
a
the
good group.
size of the group, we get to know each other a little bit, which I
Yeah.
like that.
This is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And we'll sleep well tonight, I think.
Yeah.
Go get my glass of wine. Again, thank
All
you.
right.
It's been an honor, and I hope to see you around.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At least Facebook, or keep in touch with me.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Well done.
Bye-bye.
Good
Bye.
seeing, good seeing all of you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank-
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Rick, for being
Bye.
willing to share about your situation too. I really appreciate that.
Well, good. I always need a really good excuse for why my stuff looks the way it does. So,
Well, I'm trying to learn too, because I hadn't come across that, so that's great.
Looks good.
all right.
You
Thank
totally work, whatever you're doing totally works. So, well done.
Very
Well,
well.
I'm excited. I'm excited to take this all to a new level now. So
I'm
it'll be
excited.
fun.
Send me what you've done. Any comments? I appreciate that. It helps me learn how to teach better if you're willing, if you have time.
Okay.
Good.
All
Thanks
right.
so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.